My father made coffee tables. He went to school furniture dumps and brought home chemistry laboratory benches. And he turned them into coffee tables by sawing the legs down so that the bench top was just a few inches off the floor. He went to junk shops and discovered the marble tops off old tables that were used in bedrooms as poor people's bathrooms, and he brought them home, threw away the wooden base and fixed black, square metal legs to the marble tops. He brought back a staff room table. He sawed the legs down and hired a floor sander to sand down the top. He walked up and down the tabletop till all the scratches had gone. My mother said that he made coffee tables so that he could have somewhere to put his droppings. He never picks anything up. He only ever puts things down, she said. Some days there were so many coffee tables in our place, it was difficult to get round the room. When we left home, he gave my brother and me some of the coffee tables. One time he came over with a coffee table that he had bought for me. It looked like an old coffee table, but it had only just been made. One of my children stuck a red sign on it saying, "Danger." When I read books in bed at night, there are things like demons and ghosts. But when Mum and Dad talk, they use words in another language, Yiddish, that some Jewish people speak. So in my parents' stories, there are people and creatures I never meet in the books. There's the shloch. What's a shloch? How do I know about the shloch? Because Mum says, don't be a shloch. It sounds bad. She says, you don't want people to think you're a shloch. So I say, what's a shloch? She says, it's what you don't want to be. At night, in bed, I start to think about the shloch. I start thinking what the shloch could be like. This thing that I shouldn't be, but I don't tell anyone. Because when I was a boy, I had a kind of secret life. None of my friends knew that I was worried about the shloch. I figured that if I met the shloch, I'd be in tsurus. Do you know what in tsurus is? In tsurus is like when you're in trouble. Believe me, you didn't want to be in tsurus. None of my friends knew what it was like when I went to see my grandparents. For a start, I didn't call my grandparents Grandma and Grandad. I called them Bubba and Zayda. No one knew that. No one knew what it was like at their place. Oh, I loved going to visit them, apart from one thing. Just one thing. Yes, this is how it was. Mum says to us, we're going to Bubba and Zayda's. Come on, muzhik, she says to me. Muzhik. That was another of the words. This one was a nice one. At night she'd kiss me and say, good night, muzhik. What's a muzhik? I'd say. Someone nice. A little Russian fella, she'd say. I'm a little Russian fella? Shh, go to sleep now, muzhik. Bubba and Zayda's place was a flat, a ground floor flat. We'd eat pleva, that's crumbly cake, platzels, freshly baked rolls with sweet chopped herring and latkes. They're like a little bit like hash browns. And there was the smell of warm bagels that we called bagels. And people are laughing. Zayda shows me the ship in the bottle that sits above the fireplace on the mantelpiece. And it's as if the ship sails along the mantelpiece, on and on and on. We play games, snakes and ladders, fox and geese. If I win, Zayda calls me a knacker. What's a knacker? It means you're clever, but you act like you know it. If I laugh a lot, he tells me I'll plots. Plots? What's that? You're laughing so much, you'll plots. You mean wet myself, Zayda? No, like you'll burst, like you'll plots. Why did I say, laugh so much, you'll wet yourself? Now, I need to go to the toilet. But, that's the problem. The toilet, the only toilet they had, was outside. I didn't want to go out there to the outside toilet. But I need to go. I have to go. But I don't want to go out there in the dark and cold, all on my own. Not the outside toilet. Please. What shall I do? I'll try to hang on. Yes, I'll hang on. You're wriggling about, Mum says. Do you need to go to the toilet? No. I say, you do, says my brother. I think you do, Mum says. You're not scared, are you? She says, no. You are, my brother says. I'm not, I say. So just go, he says. He knows I'm scared, but I'm not going to admit it. He knows, and really I am so scared. I so don't want to go to the toilet, so I hang on. I hang on. But in the end, I have to go. My brother watches me as I go out of the room, out of the warm living room, through the little kitchen, shadows on the floor, shadows on the walls, out through the back door, into the backyard, into the night. I don't like this. Out here, the chickens are talking. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The night sky goes on forever. The neighbours are groaning into their tea. I mustn't stop. I must go to the toilet, and then there it is, waiting for me. I've got to go in there, but I so don't want to. I can't go back. Over to the dark door, open the door, and in. And inside, it's a cave, darker than the sky, colder than the night. This is where the spiders live, creaking up the walls, creaking across the floor, creak, creak, leaving long lines from wall to wall like dusty whiskers that fall in your face. The toilet seat is damp. I'll leave the door open. Yeah, but who's out there? With the chickens, who's out there? Foxes? Wolves? Beasts that bite? Will they come in and get me? And then, into my head comes the schloch. Here it comes, lumbering in. No, I say, don't come in, please. Go away, leave me alone. I'll call out for help. Ma! But I said I wasn't scared. My brother will say, I said you were scared. The schloch is right there, right in my face. What can I do? What can I do? You know what I am now? I'm in Tsurus. I know. I'll think about something else. What about that thing Mum calls me? The mujik. Yeah, I'll think of him instead. The mujik will push the schloch away. Think mujik, don't think schloch. Think mujik, don't think schloch. I shut my eyes. Come on, Michael, hurry up. Finish, come on. Finish, and yes, I'm finished. And then it's out of the door, back through the yard, past the chickens, open the back door. It's getting lighter through the kitchen, and the smell of warm bagels into the light, warm living room. All right, says Mum. Were you scared? Says my brother. No. Not even a little bit. No. Not a bissel, says Zayda. A bissel, I say. My brother winks. Does that mean he gets scared in there too? I smile back. And look, there's Zayda's ship in a bottle, sailing down the mantelpiece. There's the game of fox and geese, waiting on the table, waiting for Zayda to say, come on, Knacker, I'll play you. And Bubba to say, have another bagel, you must eat. You get ill if you don't eat. And there, on the wall, is the photo of the day Mum and Dad got married.
Now, it would be great if you subscribed. That is, you become a subscriber. Look out for the subscribe button. What happens, you see, is that I make new vids every few months, and then I post them up one a week for a while. So if you subscribe, you get to see the new ones just as they come hot off the press. Eeeew!